Hello wonderful human beings and welcome back to my channel. So on my channel I talk a lot about self-love and loving yourself and accepting yourself even with your flaws and all. Just really accepting and loving and embracing yourself. But I have to admit that I'm not always that positive about myself all of the time. I do have my bad days. If you've watched my channel for a while, you would know that I do kind of love myself. I like the way I look, I like my personality, I think I'm a good person, and I'm very loving towards myself. But I'm not like that 24/7, and I have awful days where I will really put myself down and think I'm not good enough. It's a hard truth to admit because I like to admit that I'm a happy, positive person and I don't like having negative thoughts, especially about myself. But I have to admit it, I do. The times you struggle the most with who you are usually when you're down about something else. So if you're having a bad day or a stressful day, this is when all the negative thoughts and doubts about yourself will come into your head and you will put yourself down further and further until you're just not happy or satisfied with your life or with who you are. It's like when I'm down, I want to be more upset and I want to cry harder. So I will think of all the negative things that are creeping in the back of my mind about myself and explode them to make them more dramatic than they are. So I thought I'd make a video about all the things that I tell myself when I'm upset to get me more upset and really bring myself down further. Because I feel a lot of the things that I say to myself, you may say to yourself as well when you're down. And it might be helpful to know that someone else is having these thoughts and you're not alone in these negative thoughts that you have every once in a while. So first and foremost, when I'm having a bad day and I'm crying hard, like really hard, the first thing I think to myself is like, you are such a baby. Why are you crying so much? Adults don't cry this much. You're like a child. Grow up. I say this to myself. I'm very harsh with myself with this. I tell myself that I shouldn't be crying. I should be better than this. I should act like an adult. Which is stupid because adults cry. Everyone cries. Everyone has the potential to cry. It's not about being a child. You're upset, so you're allowed to cry. But in that state of mind, when I'm really down on myself, I will really rip into myself and say, you should not be crying. Get over this. This is not the worst thing in the world. And it'll make me cry more because I'll be thinking, why am I getting so upset? Why am I acting like this? Why can't I be like everyone else? And I'll just cry more. So I start off with that. I call myself a baby. And then I go into, why can't I ever do anything right? If things don't work out for me, I always think, why does this keep happening to me? Why does everything go wrong for me? Why can't I do something right? And I feel like this is a very common thought that people have. When things go wrong for them, they always say, why me? Why is this happening to me? And you look around at other people who are just, they seem to be like gliding through life and everything's going right. And you think, why can't that happen to me? Why am I struggling so much? Why am I so far behind? We have no idea what's going on in someone else's life or how they got to where they were. They probably struggled as well, but we just see the finished product. We just see the outside layers. We don't see what happened behind closed doors. We don't know their struggle. And that is a very harsh thought to have myself because I have done a lot and people probably look at me and think, oh, she's got so much. How come everything works out for her and not for me? But I just don't see it that way because I know all the struggles that I've been through and don't know about anyone else's. So obviously I can only think about my own struggles and not what someone else may have went through. When I'm not having a bad day and I'm perfectly happy in my life, I do look back at everything I've achieved and I get very proud of myself and what I have done, what I have created, what I've done with my life and the friends that I've made and all those kind of things. But when I'm down, it just turns completely and I just think, you haven't really done anything, Sarah. You've existed but not lived. And I get into this very negative place and bring myself down so much. That will lead me on to the next thought I generally have. I compare my life to all my family and friends and think that I have done and achieved nothing and my life isn't progressing at the same rate as everybody else. I only have these thoughts when I'm really down. I really want to hurt myself because it gets to me quite a bit. I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. 3 of them have careers, like proper careers. 2 of them have houses. 2 of them have kids, or one has kids and one has a kid on the way, and 2 of them are married. I don't have any of those things. And when I get really, really down, I think about all they have and what I don't have. I have a job. I wouldn't say it's a career. I have a job. I have a boyfriend, but I'm not engaged or married. I don't have a house. I live with my boyfriend and his mother, and that will probably be the situation for quite some time. So to me, when I compare myself to my siblings, I think that I have nothing and that they are progressing at a normal rate and I'm just so far behind. My younger brother has 2 kids, a fiance and a house and a career. And when I'm down, I always think, I'm so far behind. He's got his life. He is starting his life. And I'm still on the benches waiting for my life to start. And that is a very extreme way of looking at things. I should not be thinking about my life being on the bench until I start like getting a career or getting engaged or anything like that. My life has started. But when I'm down, I don't see it like that. I just think that I'm coasting through and I'm just waiting for something to happen. But that's such a bad way of looking at things, and it's the wrong way of looking at things. But when you're down, you can't help it. You want to hurt yourself. And then the next stage of my getting down on myself phase, as I'm looking at myself, just saying, God, Sarah, you're so ugly. How could anyone want to be with you? Look at the state of you. If you've watched my videos before, you will know that I do find myself attractive, like a little bit too much. It's a bit creepy. I do think that I'm cute and I like the way I look, but when I'm that down on myself, it's like that goes completely out the window and I just look at myself going, you are disgusting. And I compare myself to my friends, thinking that they're so grown up looking, they look so elegant and graceful, and I'm just this little adult that looks like a child who, no matter what she wears, doesn't look like an adult. She still looks like a teenager wearing all these like skater dresses, and she can never look older. And I think, why is this only happening to me? Why can't I look like my friends? I'm so ugly, I am so horrible, blah blah blah. I hate getting those thoughts, because the next day, after I'm over it, I'll look at myself going, damn, I look good today. So I know I don't actually think I'm ugly, but there must be a little bit of doubt in my head somewhere, and it comes pouring out when I'm down. And then I get such thoughts like, no one cares about you. These are the dangerous thoughts. Now, I only get these thoughts when I am mentally exhausted, like I've had like a whirlwind of emotions happening and spiraling into like full on just in bits, rock bottom, and just crying so hard. I know that I am cared for. I know I have a lot of friends and family and even acquaintances who do care about me. But when I get at this level of upset and breaking down, I just think to myself, no one really cares about me. If I died, yeah, there'd be a few tears, but they'd move on. It's not like a big devastation to their life. Very, very, very dangerous thoughts, because that is the stuff that led me to self-harm or attempting suicide. Because you spend so much time with yourself, you know yourself inside and out, and you know all the bad stuff about yourself, so you think that people will be better off without you and these bad things in their life. Especially when I was younger, I was very down on myself, and I drag my friends into it and be really upset all the time, and I would get to the point where I was like, they don't need this crap, they don't want this crap, they want to live their lives, they want to be happy, they don't want to comfort me all of the time like this. They are better off without me. They don't want to have this burden anymore. Obviously, these thoughts are just lies that you tell yourself. People do care about you and will always care about you. It's something that we fear in our minds. We have these little doubts in the back of our minds. And even though they're unjustified, we try and justify them. But they are not true. There's always someone that cares about us. But in that state of mind, we can't see that. We don't accept that. We think, how can they accept me and love me when I don't accept me or love me? But rest assured that there is people out there who love and care about you. What you need to do when you get in this state of mind is go to bed. I think sleep helps everything. When you wake up the next day, maybe not 100% better, but definitely better than you were the night before when you're having these thoughts. I cannot praise sleep enough. I've had really, really dark thoughts when I was really upset and breaking down, and I'd be on the edge of doing something stupid like cutting myself, and I would decide to go to bed and just sleep it off. the next day I will feel so much better and so glad that I didn't do anything. Us humans are weird. No matter how happy or positive we can be about ourselves, we do get those times where we completely break down and just tear into ourselves and really bring ourselves down. And I don't really understand why we do this, but some of us do. And I want to make this video because it's okay to have these thoughts. Like, I know I promote loving yourself and loving all your flaws and accepting that and always being happy. That is a little bit unrealistic. You can't be happy all the time. Yes, you can be happy in general all the time about yourself and who you are, but you'll have your bad days where you break down and just feel worthless. And that is not a bad thing. You should never feel bad about having these thoughts. Even for me, because I promote loving yourself and always loving yourself, I did get to the point where I would completely break down and hate myself and then just think, well, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be promoting self-love when I can't even love myself, and I completely question whether I do love myself. But the next day I would completely love myself again. So I've come to the conclusion that I am human. I am going to break down. I'm going to hate myself every once in a while. Not all the time, but yes, I'll have my down days where I will question the things about my life or the way I look or the way I act. But that is okay. I still love myself in general. Best way I can explain it is you love your family and your friends. But if you were with them 24/7, day in, day out, all of the time, they're going to get on your nerves because you're going to see all different sides of them. And you will want to just have time away from them. That's the same thing with yourself. You're always with yourself. You know all the ins and outs of yourself and your flaws and everything. And sometimes you want to have a break, but you can never get away from yourself. So there will be times where you completely break down and think, Jesus, you're worthless, you're stupid, you're all of these different things. And that is okay. That is absolutely fine to have your down days. I think it actually really helps. You have these days where you're really, really down and you cry hard, like real hard, because it feels good to let it all out. And it's a good thing to let all your emotions out, because then you wake up the next day and you feel better. You feel like a relief. It's like, oh, I've dealt with that now, and now I can move on. So if you do consider yourself a very positive person and love yourself, just remember that it's okay to have a really bad day. You can rip really hard into yourself, but still love yourself. That's okay. You say things that you don't necessarily mean when you're upset or angry. If you're arguing with someone, you'll notice things come out. So that's the same with yourself. So don't ever feel bad about ripping into yourself, hurting yourself, or not loving yourself every single day. It's perfectly normal. I do it. I'm pretty awful to myself. The next day, I'm a little bit too nice to myself. Please give this video a wee thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel. I make videos every week. And don't forget to click the notifications bell to get notified when I upload. And I've got my Instagram and my Twitter in my description below if you'd like to follow me there. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.